Live from Dallas-Fort Worth, this is WFAA News.
We're taking you out live to Garland this morning, where school is canceled today, and this is part of the reason why. Downed trees and power lines all over the area as people get out and survey the damage and start cleaning up this midday.
And we are continuing to see even more damage from across North Texas. This is all from overnight storms that really kind of kicked off very early this morning. How about these photos sent to us by Jason Boslow in Carrollton? Get this, his chimney fell off his house during this storm, pushed over likely by straight line winds. Take
a look at some of these pictures and videos you all have sent us. We've seen those downed trees, power lines, debris everywhere. As we say thank you for joining us this Tuesday for Midday, I'm Dia Wall.
And I'm Mark Istook, and we've got crews stationed across our area this morning to show you some of the damage left over after those storms rolled through this morning, basically starting in northeast of our viewing area and making their way southwest through North Texas.
We want to get straight to meteorologist Mariel Ruiz. It's been a busy morning for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to let you know we do not have any active severe thunderstorms in the area. Those are to the south, and we have a few to the east. We do have a few flood warnings, and some of them have actually expired as of the top of the hour. So I'm going to show you just an overview of radar, what we're seeing right now, and mainly most of the rain east of I-35, east of the Metroplex towards the southeast, even southeast of Henderson County at this point. So we are now going to take a zoom in across the Metroplex. Denton County already starting to see the drying out. Wise County, Parker County, you're dry. Tarrant County just on the eastern side seeing a little bit of that rain, but the heaviest rain does extend into eastern Dallas County, portions of Kaufman County, even closer towards northern Henderson. So we'll continue to see this here for the next hour or two, but a lot of this is really starting to thin out. The strongest part of the storm I'm seeing really is just to the south of Moore Station, and that's where we have just a small hail core. The severe thunderstorm warning is just outside of the WFAA viewing area and in East Texas for Cherokee and Smith counties there. But overall, this is continuing to push to the east. The stronger storms to the southeast, closer to southeast Texas. We'll continue to see some of these flood concerns that do include Hood, Johnson, northern Ellis, portions of Navarro, Henderson, and Kaufman County. But it does look like Dallas and Tarrant County have now seen really the flood warning expire. Let's go ahead and check in with Stacia now. Stacia, I know there's still some rain out there now. We have more storms coming tonight and details on that, but what's it looking like for you?
Yeah, it is messy out there. Obviously, I know it's kind of a crazy morning on the roads, and we're still seeing issues. One of the problems is that a lot of our cameras, unfortunately, through Texas, just because of the storms that blew through, are down. So I'm going to show you what I can and kind of point out a couple spots, because if you do have to venture out, I don't want you to get caught in any messes. This is 635 at Hillcrest. We've had a lot of issues along 635. Still getting some rain, obviously, out there, like Mariel said, right around the Garland, Richardson, Dallas area. So just zooming in with our map as well as looking at that radar, you can still see that rain as it continues to move east, kind of pounding that area as well as Rockwall County. So along 635, we've had reports of high water, 635 at Miller. Now, I can't access that camera right now, but I can get you Galloway, which is closer to 635 at I-30. And you can see with all this construction, all this ponding on the side of the road. I was here the other day when it was raining really hard, and there's just nowhere for that water to go in that construction zone. Also seeing some reports of high water and ponding 35 at Royal and Walnut Hill. We have an accident 35 northbound at Beltline. So again, if you are going outside right now, take your time. You know what to do. Watch your speed, and hopefully you can.
We want to get another look at some of the damage we're seeing across North Texas right now. Our Cleo Green joins us live from Dallas, and Cleo, it's really a mess out there.
It truly is. Dia, Mark, we're live here at the Rainbow Hardware store off of Harry Hines Boulevard. In fact, people are driving by and driving into the parking lot to see the mess here. I got a chance to speak to the owners. This spot has been open since about 2013, and they've never experienced damage like this from any type of storm. As you can see behind me, it's hard to miss, right? The entire roof here just peeled off. Now, the roof is in layers. I'll show you. I'll have our photographer, Michael Forbes, come down to the ground here and see that it starts with the shingles. You can see some nails there, and then this foam board here is in the middle, and this is really just spread across the entire parking lot here in chunks, right? Which really just speaks volumes to these straight line winds that we experienced early this morning. And we'll go a little closer because this looks like metal, but it's really not. It's like a soft lining here. Now this peeled up as well. It's a mess. Now we did get a chance to speak to the owners. They let us inside. Let's show you what it looks like. It's dark. The owners told us the entire top layer of the roof just peeled off, and this is what's left. What you can see is wood. It's just plywood, and you can see straight to the sky in some areas. The entire floor, it's covered with water from the rain, and we didn't walk around too much because it is wet and the electricity is an issue as well, so we want to stay safe. The owners told us they'll probably be out of business for a while, which is truly sad here, because not only do they need to fix the roof, they're going to have to get...
We're going to go to Natalie, who is in Forney, where there was some damage as well. Natalie.
Thank you, Gigi. Hope you're staying safe out there. That's right. We're in Forney. And just a few moments ago, before we went live, we were talking to Constable Johnson here in Kaufman County. And he was telling us that he and other constables and men on his team, they are surveying the damage. A lot of what they're seeing are a lot of trees down, fences down. He says that he's seen a lot of signs twisted. I want to show you what we're seeing for ourselves. We're outside some homes here where the fences are down. And then Brandon, if you're able to come over this way a little bit, I want us to zoom in the backyard of about 2 houses down. That is an upside down trampoline. And I want to make note, we haven't seen just 1 or 2 trampolines upside down. We've seen 5, and not all of them are just upside down. They are twisted metal. Here on the sidewalk is some more of the trees down that we are seeing in a lot of the neighborhoods. And across the street, we are seeing roof damage as well. If we can go over to the right, just torn up, just tile by tile, even despite the solar panels on this person's roof, seeing a lot of that in these neighborhoods as well. What the constable was telling us that one of the harder hit neighborhoods that he and his men have seen is in the Devonshire neighborhood here in Forney. So we're going to make our way over there and see what we can find for ourselves. But right now, just a lot of trees down, a lot of the debris, roofs with some damage, fences down, and twisted trampolines. Mark D, I'll send it back to you in studio.
Natalie, thank you for that update this morning. And when you talk about those downed trees, many of them took out some power lines with them. Encore is responding to outages across North Texas. Of course, they are the electrical provider for everybody in this area. We're talking about almost 700,000 customers at its peak earlier this morning. Right now, just more than 600,000 customers. And when I say customers, by the way, think about how many folks are in a household. We may be talking about close to 1 million people among those 11,517 active outages this morning. You can see on the map there just how widespread those outages are, affecting so many North Texans.
We are in the thick of severe weather season right now, so be sure to download our WFAA app. You can track the radar in your neighborhood. We'll also send any alerts straight to your phone. It really could have come in handy for you early this morning. This is a free download in your app store.
Live from Dallas-Fort Worth, this is WFAA News.
11:30 this Tuesday, and we're sharing a look at some of the storm video and damage that many North Texans have woken up to today as we saw those storms roll through in the early morning hours, bringing strong winds and quite a bit of rain to North Texas.
We want to show you some of the flooding we're seeing. This is from Robert Boyd in New Fairview, and my goodness, it looks almost like a river. It feels like it has a current there to it. A little bit of rhythm with that water just rushing down the street.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about the flash flooding risk that folks face this morning, and here's a live look from our crew monitoring the roadways as well. This is eastbound on I-30 in Arlington, and a little bit clearer than we've seen already, but you do see a little bit of precipitation on that camera lens there. So again, a reminder that we are not out of the woods yet, as we are still looking at severe storm chances for later on today as well.
So many people woke up without power today or lost it early this morning. Here's the Encore power outage map. And right now we're looking at 12,000 outages. More than 600,000 customers are in the dark. And we're already getting reports that it could take several days for crews to get power restored to all of the customers here in North Texas. So we want to say thank you for sticking with us into our second half hour here this midday. I'm Dia Wall.
Yeah, and I'm Mark Istook, and we want to get right to our meteorologist Mariel Ruiz, who has had a very busy morning here on WFAA. About at 6 o'clock is when things really went on, and boy, you were on the air just from then until, gosh, what was it, 10 o'clock, and you're back at it, Mariel.
Yeah, I mean, this has been such an active severe weather season, and this morning was no different. Between 6 and about 6:15 was really when we saw the highest winds across Dallas County, over over 70-mile-per-hour wind speeds. We'll get official confirmations from the National Weather Service here in the next 24 hours or so. However, there are no active severe storms in the area. I do want to let you know that, but we do still see those storms across southeast and east Texas, so try to avoid heading in that direction. And we do not have any flash flood warnings in place for Dallas and Tarrant County. In fact, Denton, Collin County now looking at dry conditions, as well as Wise and Parker County. Johnson and Ellis County still under a flash flood warning until noon. We do see a little bit of heavy rainfall in southern middle part of Ellis County. That moderate rainfall continues for Henderson, Van Zant County, along with a flash flood warning until 1:30. Now, all of this, like I mentioned, continues to move towards the southeast, and here's what you can expect between now and about 2 in the afternoon. We'll see the scattered showers really tapering off. It's going to be windy, wind gusts of about 25 to 40 miles per hour behind this line of showers and storms. It'll be dry, breezy between 2 to 7 in the evening, 7 in the evening to about midnight. We'll see these storms rolling in from our west. It's the next round of potential severe weather. I have a look at what that looks like in timing and the threats in just a bit. But first, let's go ahead and take a look at our roadways. Another very busy morning in the traffic department, Stacia.
Most definitely had a number of accidents, and I'm finally starting to get some of those cameras back that were out just because of the wind and the storms that we experienced this morning. So here's a look at Farmers Branch. We've had a lot of problems along 35 and the Farmers Branch and Carrollton area. You can see that traffic is slow moving as it's trying to merge onto those northbound lanes of I-35. This is just north of 635 and I-35, that major interchange there. Here's a look at your map. So you can see you don't have a lot of congestion, but you just have a lot of problematic areas. Good news is I really see people responding when the weather's like this, trying to avoid the roadways if they can. And so I definitely think that helps when it comes to just the number of accidents and problems that we have. As Mariel mentioned, that system continues to move east and we start to dry out slightly, but the majority of your roads are very wet. Still getting reports of high water at I-35 and Royal. Doesn't look that bad. Most of that high water, a lot of it is ponding on the sides of the roadways that gather. 635, still don't have a camera at Miller, but we have one south at Galloway. This area, again, another one that has a lot of issues when we get a lot of rain, just as a result of all the road work there. Now, I don't have a camera at Balch Springs, but we are having lots of reports of problems there around I-20 and 175 as a result of high water. All right, heading out to Love Field, you know, lots of delays at DFW and Love Field. This is pretty close to it right there. We're going to go ahead and join Paige McCoy-Smith, who is joining us live from Dallas Love Field with more on the impact there. Paige?
Hey, looks like things have kind of slowed down here at Love Field. Looks like things are almost back to normal, but don't let that fool you. We're still seeing a lot of delays when it comes to departures. Not so much on the arrival side, but departures in particular, pay attention to. For example, if you were heading to Albuquerque and you had a departure date of 12:40, well, look again. Now it's at 2:45. Also, if you were going to Chicago and your departure time was at 11:55, guess what? That flight has been canceled. And the reason why these cancellations are occurring have less to do with the different airlines and much more to do with air traffic control. They control it when there are weather issues. They determine which flights are going to be delayed, which flights will be on time, and which flights will be canceled altogether. So those are things that you need to check on, regardless of the different airline that you might be flying. It is really something you need to make sure before you hit the roads and deal with the streets and the traffic that you've been hearing about, that you know exactly when your departure time is going to be, is currently what it is now. Make sure you've got your devices handy. All right, I'll send it back to you, Dia.
All right, thanks for that, Paige. We want to get a look at some of the damage we're seeing across North Texas right now. We have our Cleo Green joining us live from Dallas. And Cleo, you've been out all morning in front of that huge mess behind you off Harry Hines.
Yeah. Honestly, Dia, you know, as I said, a lot of people are stopping. They're driving by, they're stopping to take pictures and video of the damage here to the Rainbow Hardware store off of Harry Hines Boulevard. It's quite a mess. As you can see, I've been showing all morning long that the roof, it really just peeled off here, and it's in layers. There's the shingles, there's this soft tarp here, and then some foam board that really just tore apart in pieces, and it's really all scattered along this parking lot. I'll have a photographer kind of show you around here. It is a mess. As you can see, that foam board all over the parking lot here. Now, I got a chance to speak to the owners. They're in shock. They're sad, of course. This is a huge hit to them. They've been here since 2013. Let's give you a look inside if you missed us in the first half hour. It's dark inside of this huge hardware store, and here's what's left of the roof. All you can see is wood, plywood. It's also drenched, and you can really see the sky from some areas. Now, the entire floor, it's covered with water from the rain. Once again, we didn't walk around too much because it is wet, and then the electricity is an issue as well. I got a chance to speak to Pooja Sethi. She and her husband, they own this spot. She was actually driving to the store around 6 o'clock this morning when it started to pour, and then those straight line winds picked up as well. She said it was like something out of a movie.
This was the first scary experience I had ever, but I've seen in the movies. To be very honest, I've seen all this in the movies, and when I was driving, I was not sure whether I'll reach or no. It was too hard. So when I was standing outside also, my car was I thought that it will blow, it will go with the wind, but
But she's just thankful that she's all right. As I said, she and her husband, they've been outside talking to us. They've been walking around the building, and they're in shock. They're sad. This is a major hit to their business. They're probably going to be out of business for a few months, they told me, because not only do they need to replace the roof here, but all of the supplies inside. So just a sad story there. But once again, they're just thankful that they're all right, because they were outside, they were here as those straight line winds picked up in the midst of that storm. Mark, I'm going to send it back to you. Quite a story out here.
It really is, Cleo, and thank you for bringing it to us. And we also want to share some video from Hearst. This is a Walmart there yesterday. The woman who shared this video says hail was falling through the roof of that store, causing it to break. May also have been that the hail kind of impacted some of the material inside there and caused that to fall as well. But you see people inside that Walmart in Hearst covering their heads as that precipitation fell as well. Of course, this severe weather season has caused so many issues for so many folks. Here in Dallas and North Texas, we've seen it cause the damage this morning. Dallas County Judge Clay Jenkins, I believe, is giving a statement about the damage declaration. Are we checking in with him?
Yes. We are waiting for Dallas County Judge Clay Jenkins to give us an update on a disaster declaration because of these severe storms we saw this morning. So we're going to go ahead and let you listen in live.
Y'all stay safe out there. It's pretty nasty out there. Yeah. Here's the guy. I see him moving. All set? Great. So everyone, thank you for coming today. Moments ago, I signed a declaration of disaster as we have hundreds of thousands of customers without power, that is Encore customers without power here in Dallas County. And there's also Garland Power customers without power. This is not a generation problem like we sometimes have when it's cold or in the heat of the summer. This is a broken lines problem brought about by straight line winds. Now, we have several challenges moving forward. These storms are continuing. Encore crews are on the ground trying to restore power, and the way that they'll do that is they'll start with critical infrastructure. And currently, we may have one hospital without power. Carrollton Regional may be without power. We're not positive. We're checking on that. But the rest of the hospitals have power, and we expect that that will continue because it's a prioritized power situation, and also they have generators. All right, let's talk about your loved ones in nursing homes. Their licenses require that they have a generator. There are nursing homes that are currently without power and on generator. We have people with Dallas County Health and Human Services calling each of those nursing homes to get their status and to see what help is needed for them. This, unfortunately, will be a multi-day power outage situation, similar to the one that you saw in Harris County and Houston. That does not mean if your power is out right now that it will be out for multiple days. It certainly could be out for multiple days. Encore and everyone else will prioritize the critical infrastructure, hospitals, police stations, things that need to have power, even more so than our homes do. And then they will prioritize the people whose power they can get on the quickest, looking at where the population density is, right, to get as many people back on as possible, rather. What I'm going to ask you to consider doing, which I've already done for some of my family, is if they're in one of the areas without power, get together and try to be accommodating to people, because this is going to be, unfortunately, longer than we've seen here in a while. And a lot of the places that are without power are going to include, hotels and things of that nature. We'll continue working with Encore and with all of our cities on this. The cities will be opening places, cooling stations in their rec centers. The chief may already have a list of some of those that are already open. We'll look at points of distribution should people need that. Let me talk to you about water safety right now. We don't have any water plants, and that's one of the top things on infrastructure. Any water treatment plants that are currently not operational, and that's really right there at the very top. So you don't have to worry about drinking your water. Even if your power is out, your electricity doesn't have anything to do with the cleanliness of your water you can drink, from your faucet there. With that, I know you probably have a bunch of questions. I'm going to turn it over to Grant Cruz with Encore to talk to you a little bit about the additional weather impacts and generator safety for those of you who have generators. Grant.
Good morning, everyone. So around 5 a.m. early this morning, a storm system developed that began northwest of our service territory. It then crossed over the Metroplex and began moving southeast towards our Tyler region. These storms produced baseball-sized hail, winds in excess of 80 miles per hour, and a significant amount of cloud-to-ground lightning. As of 11:30, we are seeing around, more than 600,000 customers that are out. Our teams immediately mobilized. They were pre-positioned and began working on some of those critical facilities that the judge mentioned. We also have a lot of assessment crews that are out right now looking at the more isolated outages and beginning the work to address those also. As the judge already stated, we are expecting a multi-day event. The storm has not moved out, and we are expecting more severe weather today and in the following days. So we understand this is a very frustrating time for folks to be without power. We are asking for your patience and your help to, as much as you can, as much as it is safe to do so, stay off the roads. Our crews need room to work. They are going to be out working long hours to get everybody back on. So we really need help to, if you have to get on the road, give those folks a wide berth and make sure you're paying attention to their safety and yours as well. We also encourage people to check in with their loved ones, elderly relatives who might be without power. We definitely want everybody to kind of stay informed, and as you can, open up your house if you have power to folks who don't. If you're without power, look at options to potentially move someplace where power is available. Also want to talk a little bit about the potential for down lines. We did have a significant number of down lines because of this weather event. In many cases, it's not going to be simple repairs. We're looking at complete reconstruction for parts of our area. I do want to say that we have already requested assistance from utilities across Texas. We are also calling in crews potentially from out of state. We've also made contact with those mutual assistance resources. So we are working to get them in here as quickly as possible. We have also created staging sites for equipment to be moved in so that it can quickly be moved out to where it's needed. Those laydown yards will have things like transformers, new poles, things that we need to get parts of our system rebuilt as quickly and as safely as possible. Again, I just want to reiterate, if you can, avoid driving through the impacted areas. That will be where our crews are. That will be where other emergency management officials are. If you have to drive through there, please look out for them, give them a wide berth to work. We'll continue updating our customers through our social media channels all day and through the following days as things develop. We want to let people know if you need to report an outage, the best way to get in touch with us is texting us to 66267. Just text OUT out. You can also use the My Encore app and visit encore.com to get updates on where we stand with the outages and also report it to us if you have an outage. So again, I understand this is really frustrating. We really appreciate everybody's patience as we work through the next several days to get everybody back online.
Chief Forster.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Grant. Hi, I'm Scott Forster. I wanted to talk about the partnership. You know, when we have an incident that's of this magnitude, our partners are very important. We work really close with all of the infrastructure partners, the city emergency managers, and our VOAD partners. Right now, the cities are out doing damage assessment. They're out taking care of folks that may be in temporary evacuation sites and making sure that those folks have a place to be right now and to be safe. Over these next couple of days, we'll continue to work with our partners in planning for all kinds of things that maybe our citizens may need, to work with our infrastructure partners to ensure that they have the support that they need for power, water, restoration, and all those other things that come along with recovering from an emergency or a disaster. Again, I want to echo what the judge said and what Grant said. We want to be safe. We want to make sure we stay away from down power lines. Assume every line that is down is live. We want to have generator safety. If you have a portable generator at your house, don't run it in your house. Don't run it in your garage. Make sure it's outside. We don't want to see anybody else become sick or injured or something bad outside of this incident that could be prevented. So just know that there's a collaboration between our partners trying to resolve this, and we care about everybody's safety and security. So we want to make sure that we're out there doing everything that we can. Thank you.
Thanks. One other important announcement, and then we'll take questions. Today is Election Day, as you all know, for both the Democratic runoffs and the Republican runoffs. In Dallas County, and also in Denton and in Collin and in Tarrant County for sure. I'm not sure about every county in the area. I think Ellis County is another one. We have what's called county-wide voting. So what that means is if your polling place, that school down the street from your house doesn't work, you can go somewhere else to vote. And in Dallas County, we currently have 103 locations that are without power, but we have 180 locations that still have power. I'm talking about election locations. And that gives you a feel also for just how damaged our power grid here, our lines here in Dallas are, that 103 of those locations are without power. They're not currently closed, but they're currently unable to vote there. And they will likely be closed in the coming hours as it becomes apparent that power can't be restored. But you can go to one of these 180 places. You'll be able to find those maps showing what's open at Dallas County Elections social media pages, and we'll also repost that on my social media pages, all right? And with that, we'll take any questions you may have.
Judge, with
You've been listening to Dallas County officials, including Dallas County Judge Clay Jenkins, Encore officials as well, kind of address the state of the city after, in the county really, after those big storms rolled through earlier this morning.
Really stressing the disaster declaration that this will be a multi-day event to get things cleaned up and back on track. We're going to take a quick break. We'll see you on the other side.
And we're taking a look right now at radar. Radar really showing a lot of that rain pushing off towards the southeast. No active severe warnings in the area other than the flash flood warning that continues for Johnson, Ellis, and Kaufman, Navarro County as well. So just be on the lookout for that. Between now and 2, some scattered storms will be possible, but between 2 to about 7, it is going to be breezy, cloudy, and humid. After that, we are looking at the severe weather threat. This map just changed in the last couple of minutes, so I will post the newly updated one on social media. We are going to see that really we stay clear for the most part. Around 6 or 7, we'll see some storms really starting to move in from our west, and the severe weather threat is going to be higher to our west. These storms will weaken the closer they get into the metroplex, but with that being said, we could still be dealing with some hail up to golf ball size, 60-mile-per-hour wind gust, and there is a low tornado threat. And ETA for the metroplex really around midnight, and after that we're looking at our eastern counties through daybreak tomorrow. So the storm threat is not fully done because we still have more storms daily really through the rest of the week, this weekend, and even for the first parts of next week. We could end up picking up an additional 2 to 4 inches of rain between now and the weekend. So just be extra cautious. Have that app ready to go just in case we need to alert you.
Boy, I mean, looking at that 14-day, just the sheer volume of rain on top of what we've already gotten this spring, it's kind of a different introduction to summer than we're used to.
It's a little bit different, and I think that will influence our temperatures, but we'll talk about that a different day.
Great time to get the WFAA app. It's absolutely free in your app store, and we're always on at WFAA.com. Thanks for spending part of your midday with us. Stay safe. We'll see you back here at 4.